boys and girls. Welcome back to the Sister Scientists. Today, what we're going to do is a new lab that we're going to call the Craft Lab. If you didn't already know, Earth Day is coming up, an amazing opportunity to recognize the amazing place we have to live and to look for opportunities to better take care of our planet, the Earth. Earth Day is this Wednesday on April 22nd. So make sure that you're anticipating that day and waiting to count down until you can take that opportunity to spend time outside to take care of the earth and to look for creative things to do like recycle, reuse, and just take care of our earth in a better way. So what we're going to do today is something called the Craft Lab. What you might see up here are just a bunch of miscellaneous items, but what we're going to do with these is make a craft out of recycled items. Something that you can do at home and easily be creative with and make it your own. So all you have to do is find some materials around your house that you can recycle and create into some kind of craft. Today what I'm going to do is use this 2-liter plastic bottle that was just in our recycling bin and turn it into a planter. You can also use a container like a Jif peanut butter container that I also found, or any kind of container, a water bottle, or a glass container that used to be a jar for sauce or anything like that in your home that you're getting rid of. Instead of getting rid of it, look for opportunities to craft it into something new so that we can take care of our planet. So what you're going to need for this particular craft, which is a planter, is some kind of plastic or glass bottle. So what I'm going to use is these two items here, but starting just with this 2-liter plastic water bottle. The next thing you're going to need is a pair of scissors, and you might need your parents' help with getting this project started just because it's a little difficult to cut a plastic water bottle, but you can make it your own with your own pair of scissors. The next thing is some dirt and a plant. I just got these things right outside from our earth. I thought they were pretty and wanted to form some kind of planter for them in my house. So I have some dirt from outside and then these beautiful flowers. The next thing you'll need is some colors of paint, and this is completely up to you. You can choose to use whatever colors you want for whatever project you're creating. Today I have a pink, a black, and like a pinkish purple color that you'll see what they're for to decorate my planter. So different colors of paint, and of course a paintbrush of some sort for you to be able to use the paint on your planter. So let's get started and see what we can create in the Craft Lab. Okay, so the first thing you're going to have to do with the help of a parent, because we want to be very careful here, is to cut your plastic water bottle or whatever container you're using to the size of your choice to fit your plant that you're trying to put in the planter. So what I have here is a plastic water bottle, and I'm just going to very carefully use my scissors to get started on cutting this to the size I want. Again, you're going to want the help of a parent because this is kind of difficult and you do not want to hurt yourself. Voila! So I have a little bit of an outline for the planter that I'm making. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and use the paint that I have to paint the outside. So you may want to use an extra paper plate to keep track of your paint if you'd like. I'm going to try to do this as cleanly as I can using my pink paint and just painting the outside with the brush I have. Just going to drop a little bit there. And I'm using acrylic paint, but you can pretty much use whatever kind of paint you have in your house, whatever kind is going to sit best with this craft. And there I have the base of my planter. You're going to want to let it sit a few minutes and add an extra coat if you'd like once it's dry so that you can really make it look the way that you want it to. So as I'm sure you can kind of guess, I've decided to turn this planter into an animal, or a little pig to be specific. So what I'm going to do now that it's dried with my pink coat is take a little bit of black paint and a little bit of this darker pink paint that I had already pulled out before, to quickly draw a face on my little pig. So while I'm doing that, you can think about what creative kind of animal or drawing or anything you want to turn yours into to make it your own and to make it creative. So there you have it. There's the creation that I've decided to make. Just a little pig planter. So you can set that aside while it's drying and just also put away all of your painting materials. Once that's set aside and everything is dry, you can start to actually plant in your new planter. So I'm just going to set aside the flowers that I decided to plant and fill my planter with the dirt that I got just from outside. I need to break up the dirt a little bit and just make sure that it's all good to go for your plant. So now mine's just full of dirt. It still looks pretty good. So once you have all of the dirt inside of your planter, just like you would outside, you can put your plants inside the planter. I'm just pushing some dirt around it, and I'm gonna actually put some more dirt on top just to make sure that it stays in the same place. I have to break this up. Just take a little bit of time, whoop, that back in there to break up your dirt. And you can just make sure your plants are nice and planted the way that you like them, the way that you want them to sit up in your room or wherever you decide to put the plants. So I'm just going to keep pushing some dirt around until they're nice. You have it. Just a small planter that you can make out of your own recycled items. So recycling can pretty much be super fun, like we saw in our last craft. I wanted to offer another example of a craft that I think is really easy and fun and can allow you to get outside and be able to see how recycling can really just help enhance our planet and everything that we're doing to take care of the earth. So a second kind of craft idea in the craft lab today is to take some kind of cardboard container like this. This is like a half and half container, pretty tall, but it's important for this craft that you have a nozzle at the top where you can take the cap off. So that's just some things to keep in mind, but really you can be creative with the kind of container that you're choosing to recycle and turn into something that can benefit nature. The second thing you're going to need is some bird seed. You can keep it in any container you want, but at the end we're going to be able to see how you can make this into an awesome craft. The third material you'll need is some kind of string. It doesn't have to be twine like this. It could be yarn or string, or maybe it's just something lying around that you have thin you could use to tie up this finished product. So whatever you have for that. The fourth item is a pair of scissors. And again, you might need the help of a parent to get started on this craft just because it's an awkward container and you want to be very careful not to hurt yourself while you're creating this craft. The next item or material is just a bunch of different colored pieces of paper. I have construction paper here I'm going to choose to use from. I also have some scrapbooking pages that have flowers on them I thought could be fun to add. So really whatever kind of decorative items you want, and you can really make this your own. If you want to use pipe cleaners or glitter, stickers, glue, anything that you have that you want to use to decorate this craft is totally up to you. And I would love to see the finished products, so if you'd be willing to send me a picture, I would absolutely love to see what you come up with and how it looks outside and how you're utilizing these recycled materials to help for Earth Day. So send that my way on the email below whenever you finish your product so I can take a look. The last item is a hot glue gun. And we're just warming this up for the craft now, but it's better to use hot glue just because it makes things a little bit easier. But you can use regular glue or a glue stick if that's all you have too. So let's get started and see what we can create in the craft lab. All of these materials will be used to create an outdoor bird feeder that you can watch the birds use and that you can use recycled materials to create. So you're going to take your cardboard container and make sure to take the cap off. And you can dispose of this in the recycling bin. Using the front of the container that had the cap at the front, you're going to cut a portion of the front out, kind of like an open house. But you're going to want to leave some room at the bottom because that's going to hold all of our bird seed at the bottom. So to get started, like I said, you may need the help of an adult. Voila! What you're going to want to make sure you do is rinse it out before you do this cutting, because you don't want to get the liquid that was in it all over you. But once you have cut this, you can really thoroughly clean the inside. So use a paper towel and clean the inside if you haven't already. There, nice and clean. So you can probably see what's going to happen next. But before we start adding the birdseed and just putting it outside with our materials, we're going to take the time to decorate it and make it your own. So this is where the glue gun and the construction paper comes in. Use whatever you'd like to cover the outside of this container. You can see what I choose, but like I said, make it your own. That's the fun part. Voila! You can also add some drawing on the sides if you like, or if you wanted to add glitter like I said before, that's something else you could do. But this is as simple as I wanted to keep mine. I want it to look kind of like flowers welcoming the birds. So there you go. There's my finished product. Okay, so now that you have your beautiful craft creation of whatever design you'd like, you have 2 more steps to complete this creation. The first is to take a piece of string, whatever kind of string you decided to use, and cut it at a pretty good length so that you can adjust later on in the craft. This piece of string is going to go in the cap hole and out the back side as a way of hanging your bird feeder. So you can either use your scissors with the help of an adult, or you can use some kind of hole punch if you'd like. To poke a hole in the back, and again with the help of an adult, poke a hole right in the back, just clean it out, and use that as the other end of your string. You can just fish that through and tie it at the top. I'm going to keep mine pretty long still because I'm going to take it outside and find a better place to hang it that the birds can actually reach. Voila! The final step for your bird feeder is to pour the birdseed in the bottom. So that the birds can see it easily and access it through your recycled bird feeder. And there you have it. Those are all the steps to make an outdoor bird feeder. Let's go find a place to hang it. And like I said, boys and girls, this is all up to you in terms of your own creativity. I would love to see pictures. So send me any of your creations as they come along so I can see what kind of awesome recycled crafts you're making.